Back on BTN Live, Dave Revsine, Howard Griffith, and Chuck Long as we get ready for the showdown in Columbus on Saturday night, Wisconsin and Ohio State. We're going to hear from both coaches, and we will start with Gary Andersen, the head coach of the Badgers, who joins us on the phone from Madison. Coach, non-conference play is now over. What did we learn about your team?
Well, I think they've prepared very well. They understand the plan that we presented them as far as their preparation goes. Handled that well. Been on the road one time. Handled the trip well. I thought we did a nice job of just going through the scenarios of a away game, and that's a positive. Had some adversity we all know about. Faced that adversity. Looked it square in the eye, and these kids were able to move on. I think on offense and defense, it's never perfect, but we're implementing the plan and we're moving forward to use the best 11 kids on both sides of the ball. So there's a lot of bright spots. As everybody in the country, we have plenty to work on.
Coach, looking at Ohio State's potent offense, what is the big challenge for your defense this week?
Well, there's a couple. Number one that pops in your head anytime you're playing against athletic quarterbacks is they're going to get out. So at some point, they're going to get themselves out. They're going to make a play. Let it go. Move on to the next one. But that can't happen to us 10 times. And as much as you scheme it up, there's going to be some situations where that takes place. So that's very important to have a short memory, move on to the next snap. We've got to be able to stop or at least control or find a way to maintain the first quarter. Throwing it, running it. I do expect to see more option this week and two-back option. I really believe that's going to take place where they're going to come back and get the true triple option involved again.
So are you expecting and practicing to see Braxton Miller on the field?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, with Braxton. Kenny's a very good quarterback, obviously. They're both very talented. Doesn't change how we prepare. The biggest thing that, that we suspect is more of an option deal. And it's like Air Force sometimes. It's a true fair option, so away we go. Urban said he'd never run that stuff, but away we go. So I got to talk to him about that.
You really should. You really should bring that up. Gary Andersen is with us. It's BTN Live. Dave Revsine, Howard Griffith, and Chuck Long.
Coach, what did you learn during your time at Utah with Urban Meyer?
Well, a coach with the plan. He had walked into some programs with obviously some talent and interjected his plan to the kids. Didn't waver from that, but he also adjusted. And if I look back and I say, what did I take from Coach Meyer is he had a belief, he had an agenda, he presented it to the kids, and the kids believed in it because it worked. Yeah, that's true. But they also believed in it because he implemented it the right way and he allowed the kids to have some input on it, and that was big. And he was consistency, his ability to go through and really be a head coach and be involved on the offensive side, similar like I'd like to be now on the defensive side, but yet still be a head coach and be there for the kids.
Coach, you gave us some terrific insight about what you think you're going to see from Ohio State's offense. Can we flip it and go to the defensive side of the football? And can you tell me what you see as their strength of their defense, and what do you think they'll try to do to slow down your potent running game?
Well, as for their whole team as well as their defense, they run very well, and they are an athletic team. They are physical up front, and I think they play good team defense. They run to the ball. They have a lot of energy. They've had success. They've made big plays. And again, it's a little bit hard to get a read on this football team because they've been, in games obviously, and then they're out of games as far as the score quickly. So the schemes really seem to settle. Their offense settles. Their defense settles. They play base offense, base defense really in the second, third, and fourth quarters. So it's a little bit hard to get a judge on exactly who they're going to be.
Coach, you have not really been in a spotlight game like this as a head coach. How much thought have you given to what that's going to be like on Saturday night?
Surprisingly, I've been asked that question a lot. To me, it has no different feel than last year playing for a championship at Utah State when we're playing La Tech or playing a Utah BYU game back in the day. Hasn't changed a thing for me. It's a big game, but it's another game on the schedule. It doesn't really feel any bigger than the Purdue game to me last week. It really doesn't. I've never felt like that as a head coach or really as a position coach or a coordinator. Like, oh man, this is the one. It is a game. They're all big. They're all important, and we're excited to compete.
We are excited to watch it. The head coach of the Badgers, Gary Andersen. Thanks so much for joining us, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Have a terrific day. Go Badgers.